Good afternoon, Dr. Simon. My name is Natalie Martin, and today I am going to discuss my life transition within my current career role. This transition is taking place in middle adulthood. As we both know, those ages are between the age of 35 and 55. I am currently 39. I know we are supposed to have a meme to represent this life transition. However, I have about three. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a screen share and explain how these memes or reels relate to my current situation. So the first meme is actually a video. It does have a brief portion of audio, but it really touches on one of the key points as to why I have reached this stage. Is based upon just financial status at this particular stage as it relates to working within the helping profession. So I chose this video. It resonated with me just due to several reasons and changes and decisions that I have made within my career. I thought this was very relative. So we're just going to go ahead and take a listen together. Thank you.
Have every reason to be enraged, and every issue they see, they look up, they get angry, and they see someone doing better than them. And then every day it is speedballed in their face that they are failing. For the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. People aged 30 to 34, 60% of them in 1990 had one child. Now it's 27%. People are opting out of America. They're not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. Young people are enraged. They see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling. Their purchasing power is going down, and the incumbents create artificial scarcity on campus. We take pride in rejecting.
Okay, so key points just to give a little backstory. Initially, when I entered into the social service field, that was around 2017. First step into the field, coming out of retail. I felt extremely excited and honored to finally get a position and do the work that I set out to do from the beginning. I started working for a local nonprofit agency that was tailored around substance use treatment and reentry support for people leaving incarceration. I thoroughly enjoyed my job. I felt as though the work that I was doing was not only helping individuals that I work with through case management, but also the community. Um, I was very passionate during that time. I remained with that agency for about 5 years. I was able to gain a promotion to clinical supervisor after about 2 years of working there. However, financially, I just found myself struggling. I was able to land a new job, a government job, actually. It is correctional based. However, uh, the focus point of providing, services to returning citizens was still there. I still did have the opportunity to work one on one with individuals and like try to coordinate services for them prior to their release and address any vulnerable needs that they may have had. That could probably cause them to return. So I was very excited, eager to start this new role. The money was way better along with the benefits. So I did go along with the plan and change organizations until about 6 or 7 months after being there, we went through a change of management. What the program was when I first entered, it no longer is. There was more compassion in my work. Now it just seems like it's about more so about numbers than about actually helping people. So these next two slides just generally depict my mood from time to time while I'm at work, and just my overall feeling of the career change choice that I'm having right now, which has led to like stagnation, confusion, among other things. So I want to share my screen again at least two more times and just explain these memes. 1 second, please. So this meme is pretty self-explanatory. The caption reads, point of view, you're having the longest week ever and it is only Wednesday. And usually by midweek, this is generally
This is the worst.
I'm just drained and over it. Just feeling like I'm there, not actually serving a purpose, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna stop sharing again and just show my last meme. 1 second. I'm so sorry about this. This last meme or reel is just how I feel on a day-to-day basis sometimes. Footage of me trying to make a difference at work. And as you can see, self-explanatory. He's trying to fill up this bucket, but it's just so much water. And I look at the water as like pushback from management to do everything that we can for the population that we serve. So this is me just again trying and attempting to make things work, because on one end, I'm meeting my personal needs, but professionally and that passion for the work that I set out to do, I'm just not getting it. So it's an unbalance. So yes, those are my memes that I wanted to share for this assignment. So I'm gonna stop sharing and continue. So as it is explained in our course text, middle adulthood, that is the stage of life between the ages of 35 and 55. As I stated earlier, I am currently 39. The book explains that during this stage of life, we go through a phase of generativity and versus stagnation. And I can also relate to the example that they gave in the text about Sam just generally looking, he feels stuck, and he's at a place where he doesn't know where to turn. As I stated, my decision to leave the first work organization that I worked for was primarily financially. I was satisfied in the work, but not satisfied in my finances. So I knew I had to make a change. However, the change satisfied. It's like I switched one for the other. And right now I am middle aged. I'm coming to the reality. My child is getting older. I can't afford to take a step back and go back from to where I was, even though I was satisfied in my career. Um, so what do I do? I'm just at a point where I don't know what to do at this point. I know I should be looking for something else, but the actual organization that I'm with, it is meeting my financial needs. So it's a tough choice to make. Um, Luckily, through the reading, I have found some solutions. I've realized that I'm in a place of self awareness, that I need to revert back to the why I entered into the field and try to reignite that passion out of back and forth. It's just a time of reflection. The text also mentioned during this stage, it's not uncommon for people in this age group to go through a brief period of depression and question the choices and decisions that they have made. um, they also stated that another problem in this period is the failure to achieve a sense of productivity. And that's where I am now. Like, what am I doing? I'm showing up here every day, but I'm leaving empty. And I'm okay with leaving empty sometimes, but let it be for a purpose other than numbers, quotas. The numbers that matter to me is the fact that I know what I'm doing is actually helping someone. But just pushing people out the door and just saying, hey, will we get a point or met a benchmark just for them having a conversation, and there is no follow-up to whether those services worked out or not, it is beginning to not sit well with me. So it is a battle at this point, and something that I'm just trying to figure out. Yes, that's something. I feel that this stage can have both a negative influence and a positive, both negative and positive influences on my values and beliefs. From a negative standpoint, I could just accept it and say, hey, it is what it is. I'm not willing to do anything to change and go after what it is that I really want. And what I really want, I'm clear on. I want positive side. It just gives me an extra push of determination. I am not going to give up. Yeah, it's uncomfortable right now. And I look at the fact that I was able to make a change, get into this new organization, make the funds or the money or the finances that I wanted to and set out to make, to where I can now live more comfortable than I was before. So now it's like looking at that glass halfway full instead of halfway empty. What is my next step? Maybe this specific program that I am working in right now, is just not my niche. There are several other programs I just need to explore and just try to work my way around this organization, or just continue to find different ways to speak with management about these issues, and maybe start collecting some other type of data, statistical data, to show these points versus just voicing them verbally. So my wheels are turning, and I want to take the positive outlook to this situation and do what works absolutely best for me in this situation, and my family and the clients, if that makes sense. I am seeking to find more balance and creativity in my work. Discuss my peer review reference that relates to the first video that I shared about millennials and Generation Z and the financial struggles that they are currently experiencing. The name of the article is titled "At the Intersection of Race, Occupational Status, and Middle Class Attainment in Young Adulthood." The article basically touches on the wealth of millennials and explains, just like the video, how it has deviated from previous generations due to the current economic conditions of today. It also sheds light on the immobility of occupational status that was present in young adulthood for those generations, and its strong connection with wealth and the presumed pathway to achieving wealth, being employment. And as I grew up, it was always taught, if you wanted to, make something of yourself, you need to go to college and this and this and that. It was just always trained. So this activity or this assignment is also allowing me to reflect back to my adolescent stages. My parents did not go to college. They just straight out of high school found jobs and worked those jobs for pretty much their whole life. Well, my mom did. Yes, at one company. Now, our times are not set up like that anymore. It's very rare that you see a millennial stick with a company for long periods of time. In some cases, yes, if you have a good start, a good foundation where your career passions and financial needs are being met, I can see that happening. But for a lot of us, including myself, that just was not the case. So this assignment is allowing me to do a lot of self-reflecting through various stages, just to kind of retrace my steps, some of the values. And that is a value that I grew up with, that was instilled in me by my parents. I need to go to school. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I need to just make sure that when I get into my older, adolescence and reach early adulthood, that I have a plan. Reference that I want to include is titled Symbiotic Portal to Engaging Mid and Late Career Workers: Progression, Offloading, Relevance, Teaching, Advice, and Legacy. I teach. Uh, Explain how at each career stage it fosters a distinct need for the employee. So, for instance, they explain the early stage career workers, they seek advancement. Mid stage career workers, such as myself, seek balance. And they also explain that late stage career workers seek authenticity in their work, and they are in the preparation stage for disengagement and retirement. And this resonated with me because I am a mid career worker. I am having an issue with balance right now. Financially, my needs are, met, but career wise, the actual work that I'm doing, I am feeling unfulfilled. The next peer reviewed reference that I would like to incorporate is titled Generativity versus Stagnation. This is still relative to the middle adulthood stage of life. As explained in our text, it is the time in our lives where we learn how to live creatively within ourselves. It's a time for re-examination, and it's also a time for us to recognize our accomplishments and limitations and establish significant relationships where there is giving and receiving. In my peer review reference by Charles Slater, he breaks down the generativity versus stagnation. He uses an example of parenthood, um, and highlights that general give and exchange. How, as a parent, when we become parents, our job is to provide care for our younger children, for our children in general, and that give is the giving of care, and in return, we feel that needs to be, fulfilled. The need is our ability to care and feel needed by our children. So I can relate that to a career aspect as well. Uh, Mr. Slater the author goes on to express that generativity is broadly related to several aspects of our life. It's broadly related to the aspects of family, relationships, career, and society, and suggests that the primary concern of generativity is to establish and guide the next generation through learned experience, life experience. So I think that is relative to the helping profession, because we are assisting people with finding their way through navigating their life and overcoming their issues by the experiences that they have had, by their life experiences. Under the experience gained will be useful in the work that I do with clients, in the realm of me having some knowledge, some gained experience and knowledge on about life struggles in general. Everybody that's going through something can relate to the fact that at some point in life, you may have to revisit a life stage to get clarity or move forward in your current stage. So, as a helper, that looks like me uh, guiding my clients to think back and do some form of self reflection into their past, or recent events, past events, to try to determine where positive change, to first try to determine where the issue started and then move forward to determine what changes they can make to overcome those challenges that aligns with their beliefs and values. And just like mine, I got in, it just took off. It turned into a promotion and it was good for a few years until it wasn't. And I always looked at it as a stepping stone because it was a beginning opportunity. And I gained so much knowledge. I strengthened my passion. I learned so much. I earned an extra credential and I was ready to move forward, but I just had to create that balance. And at the same time, I'm thinking about, just like they said, my generations. At this point, I've had a child. What am I going to set up for them? How can I do that? Yeah, my passion in my career is being filled, but what about my longevity after that? It's not just me no more. So that causes us to make certain type of decisions in life. So just being able to not impose and share my life story with clients, but to have that understanding about what they're saying and the choices that they did make, I think that is a great aspect to have in the helping profession. I think it will be very useful in me just being able to build the foundation of understanding and rapport and opening up that floor for the client to feel comfortable with sharing information because they feel that they can connect with me and I am, able to understand their vulnerable moments and needs. Because of what I've been through. And that's not with me telling them, that's with me showing them compassion while they're talking to me, showing empathy and understanding to the statements that they are saying, and actually being able to make good recommendations based off their report of what they say their needs are because I understand the overall issue because of the experiences, because of similar and shared experience. Working with diverse client populations, my personal experiences throughout the life stages could negatively impact the work that I do with clients if I just naturally assume that our situations are the same. Even though to alleviate that process, I think it will be best for me while working with diverse client populations to allow them their opportunity to do their own self exploration through their life stages and changes as I am in the process of doing mine. That is, I feel, the best course for me to take ethically, for the best benefit of the client, and just being there to support them as they navigate through those transitions like I was able to do in this assignment just to gain. Really want to thank you for listening to my presentation and have a great day.